Self-rising flour. So fill it up to that first line. That's 2 cups. We'll do 3 cups of flour. Then I just get a tablespoon. Do 2 of those. And my hands are clean. I just washed them. And I just crumble the butter into the flour. You have to make sure it's all mixed up until it's crumbly. So make sure you get all of it even on the bottom. Make sure you don't have any big chunks of butter because it won't be mixed right. So I'm just guessing on the milk just because I usually don't measure whenever I cook. So I use 2% milk. We don't use whole milk in our home, so I'm gonna just start off with 2 cups. I always put a hole in the middle of the flour just because you need to make sure that you're mixing all of it all the way to the bottom so you don't have flour chunks. I don't knead my dough with my hands just because to me it tends to make the biscuits tougher. The reason being I don't have a recipe just because I've tried, I'm not good at measuring things, and I've tried making biscuits by a recipe and measuring specifics, and it's not always turned out great. So mine is just trial by error. What works best for me and our family and our preferred taste. So it looks to be about all mixed all the way through. I didn't use all of the milk. I still have about half a cup left. So 1.5 cups should be good. Depends on how much biscuits you want to make. Put that to the side. And you'll have to excuse me, my hair or my appearance. I just got off of work, so looking kind of rough. It'll be alright. This is my biscuit cutter. I have glass cups, and that's all I use it for, is to cut biscuits. I usually just get a handful. And I just put it down, spread it out. I don't roll my biscuit dough, but like I said, it's whatever you prefer and however it's better for you. I'm not good at making videos either, so. Okay. And I have my oven preheating to 400. So all I do is dump it on here on the flour, and I roll it over to the other side, just so that way both sides are coated. And it helps spread your dough without rolling it out, and it's not going to stick to your foil or your counters, whichever you prefer, whenever you start cutting and putting it on your pan. So I pat it out until it's about a 3/4 inch, about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. So that's all I'm going to do with that. I take my biscuit cutter and I just roll it in the flour just so it gets a coating. And that also helps whenever you start cutting your biscuits out from the dough to sticking to your cup or your cutter. They do have biscuit cutters at Walmart. This cup was given to me, so it's free. And we don't use glass cups in our house because we have accident-prone children. I like to play around in the kitchen. So, cut biscuits. Let me get my pan ready. I didn't get that done. I'll be right back. I call this a bread pan. Some people call it a cake pan. I don't bake. So it's a biscuit pan to me. I don't bake because you have to follow instructions and measure. I don't like doing that. I just make sure that the bottom is coated with oil and that there's a little bit excess, just because you're going to be dusting off your biscuits, getting all the excess flour. And I put it down on one side, flip it over. So then the top has a coating of oil on there. And that helps brown your biscuits also. So we just dust it off, put it down, flip it over. Again, nobody taught me how to make biscuits this way, no matter what my mother says. This is just the way I prefer to make them, and the way my kids like to eat them. So, I don't make bread a lot in our home, but when I do, it goes pretty fast. My son can eat almost a whole pan of biscuits to himself, which is not good. The little dough pieces are flying around. I usually mash them together and make an ugly biscuit at the end, just so that way you don't waste it. Doesn't matter if it's ugly or pretty. So here's the ugly biscuit. Just get all the end pieces. Make it into an ugly ball. Pan of biscuits. Going into the oven for about 20 minutes on 400 degrees. And then when they're done, I put them at the bottom of the oven so that way the tops can brown. That is the end of my video. Easy cleanup.